Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. The sun has just come up, and I was thinking earlier this morning, gee, I haven't seen the sunrise in the monitor for quite a while. I've had the camera swung over onto the, you might call it the south end of the bridge, or the right side of the bridge, to catch the walkers. And the sun has been coming up lately on the other side, so I was swinging the camera around this morning. You're going to have to be sure and swing it back so we don't miss the walkers. They'll be coming by here probably in about half an hour, all being well. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with the sunrise or not. If it's nice, I kind of saw it. It was very, very plain, but you could see it break out over the berm. Okay, enough about the sun. Enough about the walkers. We got to paint today. Yeah. You know what? What we should do is see if we can find Nigel's little boat in here. I've mentioned this before. These kind of boxes, I always have a problem trying to get them open. There we go. Okay, so Nigel's boat. I don't know if he's got the same one as that or not. No, he doesn't. He does not have that one. He's got the bigger ones. Yeah, okay, so we don't need to worry about that now. What I like about Nigel's is the prow on the boat is more ocean going. It's more like what I would think they would have had. I actually had a little bit of experience when I was a teenager on a boat like this. It was what was called a lobster cruiser, and it was, I believe, it was 40 feet long, and it had quite a prow on it, so that if you dug into a big swell, you know, it wouldn't dig in and bury itself. Whereas those boats that Trumpeter has designed, they look like something you would see on a river. You know, a river doesn't get big waves usually, unless it's a big river. Okay, so we don't need to worry about using Nigel's boat for this one. We're just going to go ahead and paint this today and have a good time. Missy the dog won't be by for quite a while. At 11 o'clock this morning, my son is going to come over. He's got the day off, and he's going to come over and change my tires for me and get the studded winter tires off and get the summer tires on. We can't, I mentioned this a year ago now, but here in Winnipeg, on the 1st of May, it's illegal to drive with winter studded tires on. So they got to come off. Also, in the hot weather, they wear out a lot faster because the rubber on these winter tires is softer, so that it grips better on ice, and is a little bit more malleable. It actually makes a difference. Okay, what do we got going here? We are still in step 13, but we got to paint first. So let's recompose here and maybe do a little bit of painting. It's going to be a little bit of a different morning. I got to keep track of the time. I don't know if I'll be ending today's episode at 4, or rather at 11. But we'll just see how it goes. We'll just, as I used to say years ago, we'll play it by ear. And my brother, if he was with me, he'd say, that sounds like a winner. And that's sort of a little private joke going on there, because we had friends that one guy was always saying, we'll play it by ear. And the other guy, he used to always say, that sounds like a winner. Yeah, boy, oh my goodness, that was, holy cow, now that I think about it, that was back in the 60s. Oh my goodness. Funny how memory works, isn't it? Okay, let's recompose here before I get all nostalgic and start crying. No, I won't. Okay, we can use one of Eric's sponges here. These are really high quality sanding sponges. I've used this one several times, and it's still just like new. Okay, now the plastic does not feel soft like it did before, so all I'm going to try and do here is just get rid of some of the burrs along the side. Gotta be careful I don't catch stuff and break it off. Yeah, I'm not going to try and sand on the inside, although I suppose maybe I could just a little bit off camera there, just try and get rid of some of that flashing very gently. Yeah, I can sort of see some of it's coming off on my finger there. So I guess there was some. Just very, very carefully here. Jason Port was demonstrating an electric mini sander. Boy, that kind of caught my eye. Something like that might work really good right here. He has, quite often, he has tool reviews. Yeah. I'm probably going to break this, aren't I? Well, we're getting rid of the excuse me, the worst of it anyway. I think I'll probably paint this the number 82, the same as I'm going to paint the upper parts of this. And then the bottom we'll do in the hull red. And this, as I mentioned yesterday, is going to be the deck tan, number 78. Okay, let's recompose here and find our paintbrush and get at it. Okay, I think I got this cleaned up about as good as I can get it here, more or less. I guess there's never an end to perfection, is there? And this is thin, so it might not brush too well. I'll put it on fairly thick, and where the Chris's alligator clip is, I'm going to have to obviously repaint that later. I'm going to rely on shrink wrapping to take effect here. Maybe I'll do the individual cradles. First. My goodness. Takes me a long time to get words out when I'm concentrating. Let's check the monitor. Are you able to see that? Oh yeah, you can see it good. Yeah. Now basically it's only these rails that are going to be seen here. And I know I'm sort of flooding it on, but this very thinned out XF paint is probably going to shrink wrap really, really well, which means it's going to obviously expose all the places where I didn't sand very good. I don't think I need to do the underside. It's going to be on the deck, isn't it? Maybe I'll put on my magnification hood and just take a nice close look, but I'm going to have to do that off camera. And like I say, we'll fix up this spot. Well, you know what? The keel is going to be right there. We're not going to see that anyway, most likely. I basically got it as near as I can tell. I could have done a better job of sanding that sprue connection off, couldn't I? Well, maybe. Well, this side's got one too. Story of my life. Okay, I hope my little brush here hasn't completely dried out on me. I know it hasn't. And we're going to paint the inside first. Even though this paint is thinned, it seems to be brushing fairly well. And it's only the aft section of this part that is going to be hidden. In other words, where my stick is glued on here. But the gunnels will be seen. So we got to try and get that. And then when we look down in between the seats and the thwarts and all that kind of stuff, we're going to see there. Oh, I got to mention our friend Max, when he comes by with Max and Missy. He had a very interesting experience when he went out for a walk with Lorraine yesterday. It was a nice day for a walk, and they went out for a walk, and he had something very interesting happen. I'm sure he's going to want to share it with us. This probably would have been better sprayed. Now, I don't know. I don't think I need to bother painting down in where the stick is, but I will anyway. Okay, just want to make sure I get the top here before I start to work on the sides. I think I've got all of the top of the gunnel. No, looks like a little spot right here. I got it for sure now. Just do the same on this side here. I know I'm flooding it on, but as I've said too many times, it will shrink wrap and you will get to see all the detail. Not as good as if we had sprayed, of course. Okay, now the transom, I don't need to do in there. So why am I doing it? I think that the entire transom should be gray. And well, just be very careful when I do the whole red. Oh, some of you are probably noticing the date here, November the 27th, 2023, and you're wondering what's that all about? Well, that was the date that we started on the submarine. Seems like yesterday, doesn't it? No, I know I'm getting it. I know I'm getting it down on the onto where the hull red is going to go. But why is this not painting good? That's not bad. Okay, so this lower part now is going to be the whole red. Pretty sure I've got enough 82 on here to just make sure that I got it all the way down and around. Now I'm noticing another little, when I'm painting you can see these things, they sort of pop out where the sprue connection was. I should have sanded that off. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Yeah, okay, I'll just leave that now. Alright. Now this piece here we're going to do in the deck tan. Okay, now the underside of these seats really doesn't have to be painted, but in order to get onto the edges here, you know what, I have this problem, and I keep forgetting to put on my other glasses. I put on the regular reading glasses when I'm, doing things like cleaning out the paintbrush and stuff like that. And then I forget to change back. Now I think this is thinned. What does it say there? Yeah. Okay. It's not acting like thinned paint. It could be that some of the thinner in it has evaporated. But it will shrink wrap. Not to worry. Okay. Now where the stick is fastened on, we don't need to concern ourselves with that spot there, because that will definitely be out of sight. But along the edge here, where it's going to go up against the gunnel of the hull, we're going to want to make sure we get that. I'm probably not going to need 2 coats. A little bit of a bubble there. That Mr. Color paint was really bad for containing bubbles after you mixed it. I will not buy that again unless I absolutely have to. Even though it was probably a better quality paint. Okay, give us just a little, one more swipe here. Whoops. I think what made it look like it was too thin is because it was starting to dry. Now, can I hold this so that you can see it and I can see it too? Now, we don't need to paint down in in what I call the engine well, because we're going to be painting that black later anyway. Although maybe black is too dark. I wonder if we should find something a little bit lighter. I don't want to get this too thick, because I want that detail from that. I guess you'd almost call it planking, but that should dry fairly good. Okay, how does that look? Let me check the monitor. Well, that's going to have to do. All right. Oh, I don't think I can paint anymore until this dries a bit here. Otherwise the paints are going to blend. And I'm going to look around and see if I have something a little bit different than black to go down in here. It's a little bit thick on the sides there in some places. Okay, let's quit. Okay, well, we're waiting for our paint to dry here because we can't stick our hull red on and so on until after that gray has dried, the number 82. But we could maybe find some of the parts we're going to need here a little later on. Got a photo etch piece here that we got to bend. Yeah, this is nice that they got the railing attached to the part here. We're going to end up making something that looks like this. Yeah, so what do we need here? Well, we got these obviously, and this is this. So we need the K1, a couple of T32s, and the B3. So let's just find those now. Okay, K1. And a B3. This is a big one. Okay, we need 2 T32s. And I'm noticing that the 32 here that we need is attached to the 29. So I want to be careful not to damage the 29. And I imagine we're going to, being that this is a pulley of some kind, well, we'll nip that off later. We'll just cut it here very carefully. And we'll take it down here very carefully. Okay. That should work out okay. Yeah, you can sort of see what it's supposed to be there. Okay, now we need 2 of them. Now, fortunately, we have 2 of the T sprues. Okay, yeah, there's a nice detail on that. Here, I'll just clean that up off camera. Okay, there were 2 more pieces in step 13 here that we had to get. I just went ahead and got them. The, what is this, the B19, or is it, no, the C19 and the B7 here. Now, it doesn't show us where this piece goes in this step, but this one we need for 13. And what's going to happen is this piece is going to plug in here, I think. Have I got this right or I got this backwards? Yeah, I've got it backwards. Here's a hatch that obviously has to be on the outside. And is this going to fit nicely for us? Usually this kind of stuff fits really well. Yeah, that's a nice tight fit. Okay, let's zoom in a bit here. Okay, then this goes on here. Once again, I'm doing this for the first time. Yeah, that's a good fit. Good fit. All right, now, this piece here is going to go right here. And I'm not seeing any markings above this grating area, but I guess you just sort of eyeball it here. And then the boat is going to go on top of there. Ooh, let's move on here. Okay, I got curious now. Where does this actually get mounted after we get it all put together? And I paged ahead to step 30 here to find where it goes. And it actually gets mounted on the stern. Now I would think that what we're going to want to do right now is paint the deck the number 50, and the superstructure, that would be this piece here, and this the number 82, which is what we're using for all the rest of the bulkheads and so on. Now the roof of this, I don't think anything gets mounted on that. Maybe what I should do is just look ahead in the manual here and see, is there anything else that's going to go on top of here? Otherwise, in that case, this also should be sprayed the number 50, because this is kind of deck area. Anyway, I'm just going to do that. I just thought of that now after I pushed record. So I'm just going to go ahead and look ahead here. Okay, I'm in step 34, and yes, it looks as though this whole thing is going to be covered up with flight deck. Yeah, we're hardly even going to see that. I guess the only way we're going to see in is when we would look straight in from the back like this. I guess I don't have my my manual in a good place for you. Okay, so in that case, it really wouldn't matter if we painted the top of this or not, but I do think we definitely would want to paint this superstructure here. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Ron. I'll move Brainy's car over behind mine in a little while.
Okay, yeah, Phil's not coming till about 11, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a glorious day.
It's nice out there. Not windy. Okay, now hold on here, Missy.
So I got to the E-Gym yesterday and we walked to Timmy's for coffee and back, so I got 8,000 steps in. So I conked out and had a very long, deep sleep last night. It was wonderful.
Wait a minute.
It almost made up for the Jets losing. Not quite.
Okay. The Jets lost?
Yes.
Oh my.
In St. Louis, but I think it was Blake Wheeler who said you need to win 16 games to get the Stanley Cup, and no team has ever done it in just 16 days. Means,
There's hope yet.
Oh, you lose games on the way, and sometimes you lose almost as many as you win, Long series with 4 of the 7, which means you've lost 3 of them.
I told the viewers that you had something very interesting happen to you yesterday.
I was interviewed. They interviewed me for 15 minutes, Randy and I, on the trail. And then I watched it on TV. It was like my entire life was left on the cutting room floor. I got about 4 seconds in.
4 seconds of fame.
4 seconds of fame.
Do you mind if I insert that and show the viewers?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll put it in right now.
Some voters in the riding are focused.
We got to sell it somewhere else real fast. Truly, fame is fleeting, especially in my case.
Yeah, so the actual interview was about 15 minutes, and they probably cut out stuff that was similar to what they had other people say.
Well, they had a very short segment, and they had about 6 neighborhood people,
yeah.
They interviewed along with the 2 candidates. So I got really almost as much as any of the other walking neighbors.
Oh, that was interesting. So we have a celebrity in our midst besides Missy.
Yes. Missy says that's nothing. She says, I'm on screen every day, Dad. Every day. Goodbye, Uncle Ron. You're the best, Uncle Ron.
Thank you for coming again, Missy. And I'm sorry I don't have a dog cookie there for you, but it's spoiling your lunch, apparently.
Oh, yeah, she isn't eating at home. I don't think we're going to go to the VET today. I think I'll go walking early next week. Yeah, we'll just have to stay away from the pigs and the meat.
Well, it is beautiful out there.
Pardon?
It is beautiful out there.
Glorious. You're going to have so much fun on a motorcycle today.
Oh, see how it goes.
You must be tempted just to go out and go through Birdsville Park.
We'll see what happens. It's a little bit cool yet.
It's a little bit what?
Cool.
Cool? Oh yeah, right now it is. Well, it's going to be warmer than yesterday.
I hope so. Bye, Missy. Yeah, we have a celebrity in our midst today. Missy the dog. Missy the dog. Okay. I'm going to have to push stop here for a couple hours, I guess. I got to get my summer tires out of the back room, get them topped up. Usually put about 32 pounds in them. And yeah, in less than an hour, I guess my son's going to be here. So get my car moved over and try and get one side of it at least up onto the patio. It's a little bit difficult now because the bike box is there. Anyway, once again, you're getting more information than you need here. So we're just going to press stop and we'll see you back here, I guess, when we see you back here. Okay, 20.7 degrees Celsius. Yeah, it's pretty nice out there. My son's been and gone, got the tires changed. He did 90% of the work, but all I did was wheel the winter tires, no, the summer tires out and the winter tires back in the house. Yeah. Anyway, thanks, Phil. Now, I'm gonna have to wrap her up. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I get a coffee visitor. Well, we got something done. We got a little bit of progress here, but not much. Never as much as I want. I figured I'd have the hull red on our little boat here, but I guess that's going to be tomorrow now. Thanks for watching, everybody. Oh, well, we're going to have to forget about the sunrise and the walkers. I just don't have time anymore to go looking. Yeah, I've been kind of doing other stuff. Yeah, like I said, life got in the way of the model table. Thanks for watching. I hope you did well. We're gonna see you tomorrow.